A very good morning and a warm welcome to all our panelists, the students, Milind sir and Professor Anshuman Chatterjee, to the online training of the new normal in tourism and hospitality, organized by India Tourism Kolkata in collaboration with NSHM Knowledge Campus, both Kolkata and Durgapur. As we all know, that this unprecedented COVID incident has shattered our all daily routines. All of our social relations are in problems. Our industries are in problems, and tourism industry is among one of the worst hit. Now, life doesn't stop. So it believes in Choroi Beti, that is moving forward. So amidst all adversities, we adjust in the new normal conditions and find a way to proceed against the odds. Here in this training program, our revered panelist, Professor Anshuman Chatterjee, will introduce us to the protocols that Ministry of Tourism, Government of India have initiated to resume normalcy in tourism sector. Now I would request Dr. Milind Singh, our principal sir, to introduce and welcome our panelists. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Vaswati madam, and very good morning to all the students, all the faculty members, all the people from tourism and hospitality. From on behalf of entire School of Tourism and Hotel Management, Durgapur and Kolkata, from entire student fraternity, from entire academic fraternity, and from my side, a warm welcome to Professor Chatterjee. The only thing there are so many things that we can talk about Professor Chatterjee, and it is a huge list. And I think that all of you are aware of. The only thing I can say, Professor Gigi, who's our head of School of Tourism and Hotel from Kolkata, he is a student of Professor Chatterjee. So now I don't need to go much beyond that. And Professor Chatterjee, the true hotelier, I'm just giving you a simple example. You can understand the true hotelier. Yesterday, I received a call from Professor Vaswati madam that sir wants to speak to all of us, like who are like Mr. Sayak from ministry, and sir and Vaswati madam. We have almost half an hour con call yesterday. And sir was so methodical in asking each and every question, how many students, from which semester they are, which course they are they pass out, are they passing out? So this is a true hotelier. And after that, sir also told me very important thing, 10:45 we'll connect in the morning. We will see everything. Then sharp 10:59 he will be here. And sharp 10:59 sir was here. So this is, I think this is the true hotelier. After a long time, you know, the kind of zeal, the kind of enthusiasm, the kind of knowledge, expertise. And sir is a guru of hotel industry, tourism industry. Since last 3 to 4 decades, he is serving to them. And we are very excited from Ministry of Tourism, from Government of India, Incredible India, and Professor Chatterjee. Sir, मैं बहुत छोटा हूँ आपके सामने में आपका introduction करने के लिए. You are guru for everyone, and we are really honored and delighted to have you here, sir. And Professor Vaswati madam, please be there with sir, and I will be also there. And I think this is a great day for NSHM, and the student will, and the entire academic fraternity will be getting benefited from sir view. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Of course, sir.
Most welcome, sir.
Right. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. What an introduction, Dr. Milind Singh. Thank you so very much. But I think, you know, all this you have said, that is only because probably I was born before the people present here, because you spend more time in the industry, so you tend to you know, work a little more than the others. It's just that. And
no, sir, your passion, I can see the passion behind this, sir.
Of course, I'm still passionate about it, and I feel young also. And you know, I like these sessions. Why? With the students, because I think you all must have already realized teachers age very slowly. You know, they almost don't become old because Because we are always surrounded by young people, and we can't expect them to speak our language. We have to pick up their language, we have to pick up their way of life, and we have to be with them. It's never the other way around. So we tend to remain younger and passionate, as Dr. Singh said. Thank you very much for welcoming me and giving me this opportunity. NSHM is, it is a renowned institute, and for the right reasons. I have interacted already with a lot of people, especially in NSHM Durgapur, as well as I have visited both the campuses, of course. And nice campus, nice environment, very good institute, and I'm sure that even I'll be enriched by collaborating with the students of NSHM. Thank you, Professor Bhaswati Bhattacharya, for being the moderator and welcoming me. The students, a very good morning to you all, and my real friends in life. I have about 5,000 friends on Facebook, and believe me, about 95% of them at some point of time had been my students, and they're all excellent friends now. So good morning, all my friends at NSHM. Let us discuss certain things which I think we all have been discussing for the last 3 months or so. So last 3 to 4 months, we have been discussing these only. What would happen to us? How are we here? How are we going to survive this onslaught of this godforsaken virus? So there are a lot of downturns. I have some statistics also with me, which I'm sure you are also aware of. For example, in 2019, about 43 million of our countrymen were employed by this industry, tourism and hospitality. And already, whatever data is available till date, 5 to 6 million of them have already lost their jobs. Rest of them, many are managing with about 50% salary, some even as low as 25% of their monthly salary. I've been receiving many SOS calls. I've been flooded with biodatas in my inbox, and calls of distress. Sir, I booked a flat just 6 months back, and I've lost my job. Now, how do I pay my EMI? People would evict me. Imagine the problem. So there are many people who are suffering badly. I would say, like being students, it is still fortunate that we haven't picked up the cudgel of running a family yet. We are still under 2 big umbrellas. One, the family; the other, the teachers and the college. So we are much safer as students, but at the same time, we have to plan for the future also. Tourism industry in 2019 contributed about 9.2% of the national GDP, which is huge. About 10.5 million foreign tourists came to visit our country. In terms of world, international travel percentage, it might be small, but it's a big deal for us, a country which is still developing. Now, the GDP figure will go for a toss. International arrivals will also not be there in 2020, rest of 2020, and maybe a large part of 2021 also. Then, as future professionals in tourism and hospitality, what do we look at? Every dark cloud, I have always believed in my entire life, every dark cloud has a silver lining. No, it's like a few months disappearing from our lives. That's it. I remember once, about 17 years back, getting bedridden for a month. I still consider I never lived in that month. That month is out of my life. So I have lived 1 month less than what my biological age is. The same thing is happening to all of us yet again. Of course, we are now not going through the lockdown, but we are going through the phases of unlockdown. And slowly, very slowly, maybe one small step after another, we are targeting normalcy. Still, given my age and experience, it is still going to take some time before we can come back to our old normal, that is, let's say 2019 standards. So that is going to take quite some time. But let us look at the future. What is happening to our industry, the tourism industry, and what we can anticipate is going to happen. There are certain sectors in the industry which are going to take a heavy beating. The first thing that comes to my mind is the MICE sector. The MICE, when we say MICE, it is a term which is slowly being eased out of our parlance, because MICE sounds very funny. It means rats also. So it is meetings and events, let's say. That means these are large congregations of people, and large congregation of people are not going to happen very soon. Two things have to happen before we can have MICE back on track. That is, either we find a vaccine and the whole world is vaccinated, or we develop a herd immunity where the virus can't affect any one of us anymore. But that is also going to take some time. So MICE, for the time being, is out. Air traveling is out. And then you see, there are some other sectors, like there has been a lot of religious tourism in India, mostly with domestic tourists, but there have been international tourists also. Even religious tourism, we saw yesterday, even at the Ram Mandir, the Udghatan, what sort of protocol was being followed. With that sort of protocol in place, with the government saying that you can't have more than 15, some government saying you can't have more than 50 people, whereas we used to have 500 to 5,000 people in a wedding earlier. Now we are going to have so less. So that is another segment, religious segment, marriage segment. These are going to take a hit. Neither can people travel far away. Say, I'm in Calcutta. I would not think about a vacation, which otherwise I could have thought about, say, in Kerala, right at this moment, because it is not about only the destination, it is about reaching the destination. So we have to take care of all this. Now, why would I not go? Because I still do not have the confidence to go. Confidence of what? Confidence of the health, safety, and security of me and my family members. So, but Indians, they like to travel. Last year, domestic tourists is, I don't know, Sagnik or Shayak, Mr. Nandi, they might correct me. The figures that I have is about 1.8 billion domestic tourists visited different parts of the country. So even if that 10.5 million of international tourists disappear, we have these 1.8 billion who traveled last year to take care of. We can target the domestic tourism sector. Now, how do we target? I myself said I will not be going to Kerala. Then where will I go if I have to go at all? What is going to come, it is again all anticipation. One who can anticipate better does better in business. So the segments that I see are going to work wonders are, short duration travels in nearby locations. For example, I would like to go out with my family, neither by train nor by flight, but yes, in my car, whose disinfection process I can myself supervise. So the car is disinfected. I can safely travel with my family. I might go to Digha, which is motorable. I might go to Bakhali, I might go to Shankarpur, I might go to Kharagpur, I might go to Jhalda, Purulia, Bankura. See, I myself, at sitting at one place, I have so many options around me where if I go, I will not be compromising with the health of my family. So that means the tourism, for the tourism professionals, even for India Tourism, I was seeing a post from India Tourism this morning only, highlighting the different Rajbaris in and around Calcutta. I quite liked the post, and I forwarded the post also to many people I know, because these are the sort of destinations that need to be highlighted now. The responsibility lies on tourism professionals, those who are in business, tourism ministry, which is being represented by India Tourism, of course, and even tourism veterans like Dr. Milind Singh, Professor Bhattacharya, myself. We must also spread the word as much as possible, because our goal is one: the industry must survive and do well. So these are destinations which are going to come in the limelight. Not only here, I am talking about the whole country. People would love to go out, people will go out, but we have to tell them where they can go safely. Then again, the groups are going to be small. Groups are going to be small, like families, as I said, maybe 2-3 families, families of friends. So very small groups. We have to forget about the large groups traveling by bus from Gujarat to Kaziranga. So that is not going to happen very soon. We have also seen in the last 5 to 10 years, we have seen elderly people have started traveling a lot. Like the people who have retired, they have completed their family duties and responsibilities, and now they go out for their vacations, even abroad. They will not be coming out of their homes very soon, because they are in the risk zone much more than the others. So they will not be coming out very soon. But that means we have to target below 60 people, families, those who can go out in small groups, in small numbers, and in nearby locations. We also need to add, why should I go to Bakhali? Or why should I go to Shankarpur just to have keep looking at the sea? Can we add activities which are again safe, mostly individual activities? For example, cycling. Then a particular resort needs to stock cycles, and they need to then tell people, we have cycles on hire at a very nominal rate, all sports bikes, and people can cycle along the beach, for example. There can be angling, that means fishing activities. Then there can be trekking activities. In forests, a lot of people I already am aware of, because I'm very closely associated with the town of Siliguri. A lot of people are already planning their vacation. Siliguri is badly affected. Still, people are planning. They're telling me, we'll go to the forest, we'll go to Chilapata, only with the family. You see, people have been suffering from sort of a mental blockage, other than the physical blockage. Yes, other than the physical blockage, it has been a mental blockage where we as tourism professionals need to target. Now, as students, what do? We are still not in the industry. We are only now thinking about what is going to happen to us.
Exactly, sir. This is in the mind of all the students. Absolutely. That after 1.5 years, when they are going to pass out, what will happen to them? Please.
After 1.5 years, after 1.5 years, or people who are in the third semester, for them maybe 2.5 years, they don't need to think much about it at all, because the whole world scientific community is putting its all out effort, forgetting everything else, in developing a vaccine for this virus. And I'm an an eternal optimist, and I'm sure that something or the other would come out much before you do pass out. But it doesn't mean it would become exactly the way we saw the industry in January. Even after vaccination, I would still be worried about my son's or daughter's health or my wife's health. So health security, health safety, this is going to be a part, an integral part of the new normal. It will be better if, as students now, we equip ourselves with all the knowledge and skill that we require to cope with these new norms, new protocol of health safety. What is going to happen in the transport sector? Like, how are we going to reach different, because now we can go by cars, but slowly we'll be catching trains. You know, in fact, I had to go to Siliguri about a month back during the lockdown. So there was somebody else also with me, and we had a discussion on whether to catch a flight or to take a train. We decided on the train, considering a number of factors, but then we bought the first class coupe. So what we did is we carried our own disinfectant. Once we went inside, we disinfected all the surfaces inside that coupe. After that, we disinfected our luggages, which came through the platform. And then we sat down and sanitized ourselves, our spectacles and hands and everything. So it was easier, we thought, in a train, but people ultimately will have to move. And when they move, again, as you saw, I cited my own example, people would be concerned about their health and their safety. So we have to equip ourselves on how to implement these. I'm sure there have been a number of classes on this because I have been discussing with people from different colleges and universities. Everywhere teachers are conducting classes on the protocol released by the government for specific industries. They have released for the hotels also, even for airlines. So how to implement those? For example, how do we ensure in the lobby bathroom in a hotel that there is physical distancing maintained? Maybe now we have to come up with new devices which will tell us from outside the laboratory how many are already in and how many still can go in. That means vacant or occupied. Yes, Dr. Singh. Dr. Singh.
I will share one thought here, sir.
Yes,
Yesterday night, when we were supposed to have a con call, I was in ITC Fortune Hotel. I was just there to meet one guest there. And what you said right now, how to maintain a physical distance in the lobby restroom. And I could see they have done it very beautifully. So there's a machine there. So inside they can tell you that how many people are inside, especially in the laboratory area. And between the three cubicles, they have already make a demarcation, and they have kept that. Please keep a distance. Even near the wash machine area, there is they have make a demarcation with some kind of barricading of tape or sellotape, and it is there. So I was really so happy to see the entire hotel is so social distance maintained. Even if you are giving your card and there is a machine is there, there's a big size of mirror, glass is there. So even the receptionist and the person who's check-in inside the hotel, it's a huge difference and entire everything. So I think that our industry is shaping up so fast to maintain this, and they're also saving a lot of cost also inside that. Over to you, sir.
Absolutely, Dr. Singh. This is how we need to gear ourselves up so that we can meet with the health safety demands that COVID has brought. So the point is that the students need to be aware of this. Yes.
Small interruptions. There is a question from Rohan Saha. What he is asking that what safety precautions we need to take right now if we visit a hotel. Or shall you take the questions now, or we will answer them later?
No, I can answer now also. So I believe Rohan's question is on from
the safety precautions on hotel.
From the point of view of a visitor. He has asked, if we visit a hotel, then what precautions should we take? See, it is again all the social precautions. Before we entered the hotel, every hotel has a system of sanitizing the guest. Even I went to a college in Siliguri, and there, right from the feet to the head, they have these spray machines. They don't have a walk-through one, but they have one which is manually operated, and people have to go through that before they can enter the premises. Similarly, all hotels, they have made a safety check at the entrance itself. For example, temperature checking. That is only one of the symptoms, of course. Then, for example, hand sanitizing with a foot-operated machine. See, very small things. We look at a bottle of sanitizer kept somewhere. Now, my hands, I am not sure of whether they're carrying the virus or not. If I press the top of the bottle and take sanitizer on my own palm and then rub on my hands are safe now. The next person who comes and uses that, he again touches the top of the bottle. So that again, can be dangerous for him. So we have now, the foot-operated pedal hand sanitizer dispensers, where we can operate a pedal with the foot, with our foot, and then we can get the sanitizer sprinkling on our palms. So there are many such small things which have been developed, as Dr. Singh said, like we don't come in close contact with even the receptionist. The food is, the food is carried for room service on a trolley and kept outside the door with an announcement. The guest himself opens the door and pulls the trolley in. That is...
And sir, sorry to interrupt you. One guest was checking inside. I was in the lobby area. So the two guests entered and he said, please allow 3 to 4 guests. They just want to meet me inside the room, and after half an hour they will go. The receptionist says, sir, it's completely no and big no. There's an area where you can make a social distance and you can talk to them. And they especially said no, because it is not only the guest, the staff will be also come into this contact.
Exactly. So that is also now a complete no. In fact, once the guest checks out, within the next 24 hours, hotels can't even let that room out. They have to completely disinfect the room for more than 24 hours, and only after that the room is ready to be let out to another guest. So many such measures are in place. Now, what we have to look at is, how do we equip ourselves? This question is definitely there in the minds of the students, that will we get employment at all? Of course we will get. Of course we will get. There is a lot of diversification. A lot of new sectors would be emerging. Strong sectors would be emerging. And by the time you all pass out, those who are present today, I'm sure that we will be much nearer to the old normal from the new normal than what we see today. Now, but there are certain other things that we need to do. Today, students must remember, after 1 year, when a company interviews you, because you have to go through the interview process, one definite question is going to be there from the interviewer's side. He would ask, how did you spend this lockdown period? Simple. Everybody attended classes. Everybody slept a lot. but what did you actually do? What is going to be our answer to that? How have we spent this period for our own benefit? We must, during this period, I'm sure again, you must have been guided. We must now, acquire some new skills. We must acquire some new skills, like, for example, for somebody, it could be gardening. We all have a lot of time, somebody who is fortunate to have a small piece of land with their house. One can learn to grow new plants, flowers, vegetables. Some can start cooking at home also, home cooking. We have so many shows on the TV, so many recipes available all over the internet. We can do some experimental cooking also.
Sir, students are getting marks for this also.
Yes,
This gardening, cooking are all incorporated in the books.
MAR, right?
Yeah, MAR.
MAR, they're getting some credits, 2 credits
right.
or something like that for MAR. So
and it is compulsory. If they can't score, they can't get this degree.
Exactly, this is compulsory too. So see, as a student, whenever I used to be told this is compulsory, I used to feel a resistance towards it.
Oh.
So I empathize with the students. I used to be a very naughty student, like Mr. Sagnik Chaudhary, the current director of India Tourism. He was like me, and I've seen naughty students. They do well in life. So I always advise the students to be naughty as possible. I'm sorry, Professor Bhattacharya, Dr. Singh, I hope I'm not creating trouble for you, future trouble. But I tell my own students to be naughty. I love them when they're naughty. So, so the point is that other than being told to do something, we can do something which is really beneficial. For example, we can pick up a hobby like gardening, cooking, I said. We can pick up origami. It's paper folding art, beautiful art, and given again on the internet. Then we can, some of us, we are good at drawing, painting. We can do that, sketching, drawing, painting, whatever. And of course, reading. At the same time, I have advised many teachers and students to attend some course and get certified. There are so many courses now available online. I'm sure, Dr. Bhattacharya, have we advised them on Coursera?
Yes, sir.
Coursera.
Yeah, Coursera. Yes, sir.
Coursera.
But the students maybe not, because the last week we are having introductory course of Coursera from Macau. It's for the faculties. Maybe students are not yet that well versed, but they are well versed with the NPTEL and SIAM and all these types of online courses, and some others for the tourism department only.
Okay.
Tourism sector.
I'll give you an example. Coursera actually, other than completely dissociated from Macau, a college can get a membership of Coursera at a very nominal fee, very nominal fee. Okay. And after that, there are thousands of courses which are free for the faculty and the students, free, 100% free. And Coursera has some of the best courses which are being offered all over the world. Can you imagine, at my age also, I enrolled myself in one of the courses.
Learning has no age, sir.
Yes, no, absolutely. And you see, Coursera, there are so many types of courses which the students can undertake. For example, we can take a course on, say, communication skills.
Right.
We can take a course on leadership skills. Then we can learn the basics of a foreign language. Being online, we have the audio and video, so it is not very difficult to learn. All these, you see, are going to enrich our curriculum vitae.
Definitely, sir. Definitely.
Exactly. Because you see, maybe I will not write in my CV now that I took a course and I learned the basics of a foreign language. But for a student,
yes,
Now,
especially for the tourism and hospitality students.
exactly.
Knowing extra languages are always
Always
beneficial.
important. Even madam, communication skill or say leadership skills. These actually, if I can tell the interviewer that, sir, ma'am, I went through this course and it was a huge learning for me. I was certified. The certificate is attached here, and I learned a lot of things. And I think I was. It was the right decision to take this course because I do want to become a future leader in tourism, in the tourism sector. So we have a lot to say also about the courses that we. It's not only about writing in the CV. When we actually face the interviewer, we can tell them about the gains that have taken place from attending these courses. So for
Sorry,
the sorry, yes,
sir,
please.
sorry to interrupt. We have a request from Shayuk sir, Shayuk Nandi sir of Government of India, to tell us something about the imminent necessity for following the traditional mental hygiene procedure.
Mental hygiene.
Right.
Okay. You see, it's a beautiful question, I must say first.
From a beautiful person also.
From
A
a beautiful
very,
person.
very energetic and a true mentor of our students.
Absolutely. In fact, our Government of India Tourist Office is very lucky to have such young people, Mr.
Yes,
Sagnik
sir.
Chaudhary and then Mr. Shayok Nandi. I always tell them, forget about oldies like us. These are the people who would think for the future, like the students who are present here. Ma'am, not you or me, but the students who are now attending the session today. They are the future of the industry, their future of the country, of the world.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
Right, sir.
And the sort of ideas that can come out of the students, when this we only get when we conduct workshops with them, not these one-sided lectures, when they come up with weird exotic ideas, but some of them are really workable and we can never think of also. So Mr. Nandi has asked a very pertinent question.
Sir, a small interruption. These questions comes from Shagnik, not Shayok. Shagnik is one of our students. He is also very intelligent student of BTTM 4th semester. Shagnik Shinko Roy, he put the questions.
Okay.
Anyway, but the question is very pertinent.
Not fourth, must be in the 5th semester now.
Yeah, they have, the results are not yet out. That's why I told fourth.
Sagnik, I'm sure, is definitely in the 5th semester.
Definitely,
Already you
sir.
said he's an intelligent student. Sagnik, a fantastic question. Thank you so very much for this question. Mental hygiene, mental hygiene, of course, comes after mental health. Mental health is something we need to protect. And I have organized webinars with others for other students, where I have brought in doctors who have spoken about protecting our mental health during this period. You see, as we say, an idle brain is a devil's workshop. If we sit idle, think of what is going to happen to me in the future, no solution is going to drop from the ceiling of the room. We have to engage ourselves in activities where our brain is also involved. Physical exercise, of course, is required. We need to remain physically fit, but at the same time, we need to remain mentally fit also. So, what are the mental activities that we can undertake? As we said, if it's a hobby, suppose we are painting a scenery, there our whole mental focus also goes into it, other than using the hands to pick up the paint brush and start painting. So it's a mental exercise. Such mental exercises has to be there. For example, some people do Sudoku. That is an excellent exercise. Some people engage time in solving crosswords. That is also good. In reading articles, there are so many articles on the economic front, on on political fronts. We can update ourselves with all the current affairs that's happening all over the world. So there are so many things. It's not only about what's happening in India. In India, we can find out which are the states tourism, heavy states, which have actually started showing the downturn in tourism. I can name a few. For example, Himachal, Ladakh, Goa, Uttarakhand, Andamans. If we look at the the COVID statistics itself, they have already started improving. So these are the things which keep us mentally busy, and this is the hygiene protocol for our brain. Very simply put, the more we clean our brain from unnecessary thoughts, and if we use our brain to in activities which are productive, either in terms of understanding what's happening, the more we understand, better position we are in to anticipate. So we anticipate well also. If we can anticipate well, we can create opportunities out of those situations. So if we are looking for a job, should we look at companies in, say, Uttarakhand, or say towards companies in Andamans or Himachal or Ladakh? So we need to engage ourselves mentally also, physically also, like do not develop a paunch. For example, towards the beginning of the lockdown, I felt that my waistline was increasing. So I immediately started utilizing the treadmill that I have at home, so that nothing like that happens. So that is also important. At the same time, mental exercise, very correctly pointed out, Sagnik. I have also been talking about mental exercise only, but you have used a fantastic term, mental hygiene. I'm going to use this term, borrowing from you, in my future webinars also. Thank you very much.
Sir, a small rectification. This intelligent questions comes from Shagnik Chaudhary, that is your student and the director of Ministry of Tourism, Kolkata.
I was.
It's not Shagnik Chingorai. I'm sorry.
No, it's
I didn't understand its namesake. I thought it's from Shagnik of our college.
I thought about asking you once, are you sure that it is not Mr. Shagnik Chaudhary?
Okay.
I already gave him a certificate while I was talking about him, that he was a very naughty student, as I used to be. You see, as I said, naughty students do well. Such a fertile brain that he could come up with the term mental hygiene, which I said that I have borrowed.
Exactly.
And
a true teacher knows his students better. So seeing to the question, you understood from where it can come.
Absolutely. Okay. But when you were so sure, I didn't argue. But in my mind, it was that it...
yeah, actually, the surname was not there. And I thought that Shagnik means we have also one Shagnik in our college. Sorry, sir. Sorry,
no, nothing sir. Sorry. I feel so happy. That it was a long time back that Shagnik, Mr. Shagnik Chaudhary for everybody and myself, we used to be in the same class. So it has been a long time, and after that today, when he passed out in flying colors, today again we are in the same virtual classroom. So it is a good fortune for me too.
For us also, sir.
So any other questions?
Yes, sir. We are having another question from Arjun Maro. He is definitely one of our students. He is asking that what will be the target of tourism industry after this pandemic? That is where we want to reach after this pandemic is over.
Okay. You see, I am, not too much for setting a target. There are a lot of people who set a target. If you talk to the players, say, for example, if you ask Sachin Tendulkar, did you have a target of 100 in every match? I have heard his interviews. He has said never. My target was always to score the next run. You see, so the target has to be improvement. If we set a target, we must have, in the government departments, there is bound to be targets, because even in the private sector, targets are given to salespeople, for example. So targets are there, but we should not inflict such targets on ourselves. Because the more we talk about a target, more pressure we are under. For our own sake, we need to improve the business. We have to understand this. If we are working in the tourism sector, for our own survival, I might not be the owner of a hotel, but for my, as an employee, for my own survival, I need to look at improved figures. So every month, the figures should improve as we go through the unlockdown process. Soon, maybe in October, maybe in November or December, we are going to see much more free movement. I have been talking to some other experts also, and many of them are very optimistic. They're saying towards the end of October or November, we are going to see actual tourist movement. Sufferings are there, but yes, please, ma'am.
Surojit, probably your question has been already answered. So I'm taking the question of Somo Singh. Somo asked a very pertinent question. He is asking, what is the scope of entrepreneurship in tourism industry, and how this government of India is helping out the young generation in entrepreneurial activities?
See, that is again something which is going to stay, not only in terms of future, in futuristic terms, but you see, entrepreneurship, I have always told my students, advise my students, that if you can become an entrepreneur, it is always 100 times better than working for somebody else. So entrepreneurship has always been encouraged. It is being encouraged by our government of India also in general, and of course in the tourism industry. Particularly one sector I would like to talk about, which I'm aware that the Government of India Tourism Department has been emphasizing a lot, laying a lot of focus, putting a lot of focus on that sector, that is homestay. I have personally interacted with homestay owners, about 35 of them from the Darjeeling Hills over a period of time. And a lot of people there, because you see, there is not much of employment generation in the hills that way. The hotels are already there, the visitors are there, but a lot of visitors now, they have started looking at their tourism activities a little differently. There are many people who don't stay in Darjeeling anymore. They stay away from Darjeeling in the nearby areas, and maybe one day during their stay of 3 days, they can visit Darjeeling, which is motorable. So, or by the train. So there are many people in the hills who have gone into entrepreneurship in terms of homestay.
Is homestay possible in the cities, sir?
Of course, yes, ma'am. We have we know about Airbnb, I'm sure. Yeah. So Airbnb has been such a success world over.
Right, sir.
If you go to the internet and just now check, say in Delhi or in Bangalore, and let me name these two cities, and just click homestay in Delhi or homestay in Bangalore. Such lovely accommodation, homemade food. Also, what you ask them to make, they make for you. You can bring in your ingredients and they make for you. Such beautiful arrangements are there in the metropolitan cities. Of course, it can be, homestay is definitely possible in cities as well as resort areas, the tourism destinations. So entrepreneurship, a lot of people during this COVID also, like when, half of us, we have been thinking what to do, how to survive. Half of them have gone ahead and started manufacturing sanitizers, for example. A lot of people went into, the tailors. I know a tailor in my locality who started manufacturing masks, cloth masks, and he started selling them outside his shop. So he did not wait for the people to come back to his shop. He was proactive. He found out a way to survive. And I was talking to him. He told me, sir, what else to do? I said, no, I have just come to congratulate you that I'm learning from you how to use a very negative situation for the benefit of, for the purpose of survival. So it is again a good question about entrepreneurship. Yes, look around you.
Just at one addition, which has been given by Shagnik Chaudhary sir. He is talking about the Mudra Yojana of government also to encourage this entrepreneurship. Student can have a look on that particular scheme of the government.
Okay.
That will help them also.
Yes, so as I said, that Government of India already has so many schemes for entrepreneurship, so many schemes, soft loans, etc. So Mudra Yojana, this, of course, the students who have an entrepreneurial mind, and I believe all students should have, in fact, and teachers must support them. You know, we can have, now many colleges have started, this is for Dr. Singh and Professor Bhattacharya, that you can start having a small incubation cell in the college where, you know, people with entrepreneurial ideas, the students, they can come to this cell, even virtually it can start, they can come to this cell, and there are specific teachers who monitor this cell, and there are subject experts who can come and help them in developing a project for themselves. Because the students also do need guidance. They are better with ideas. They're very good with ideas. But how to give shape to that ideas, for that a little bit of experience is required, where the teachers can play the role of the guide.
Okay, sir. We are having another question from Anamitra Banerjee. So he is stating that, greetings respected dignitaries, there has been a lot of negativity being spread through media of certain regions, which is undoubtedly affecting the hotel industry in plethoric ways. Could you please elaborate on how the hotel authorities who are being victimized and being defamed virtually could come up with various effective strategies to negate any chance for further good with depreciation? So what actually probably he is asking, that irrespective the media newses which creates a negativity in certain regions.
I have understood the question. I have understood
Right,
the question, and which is again a very relevant issue. You see, I must say on record that when I say media, I mean most of the media, the print, visual media, whatever. Most of the media channels, they have really not played a very positive role during this crisis, which otherwise was expected. But we have to, if we look at it from their point of view, you see, bad news sells better, always. Bad news travels faster, bad news sells better also. So they have to also look after their own TRP and their own you know, advertisements and earnings. So they are doing their job. Now, yes, as you say, that you know, a lot of people, they have been talking about, oh, Calcutta has been very badly affected. A lot of people, they call me up and say, sir, I heard Calcutta is very badly affected. So I tell them, well, I don't really see it, because I have been going out, sorry, from the first week of the lockdown. I've been going to the market. Then I have been interacting with people in the locality. Of course, maintaining all the protocol. I'm not breaking the protocol. I'm wearing a mask. I'm keeping a physical distance from people. But it does not, you know, does not mean life has ended. Life is over. Some places, yes. For example, somebody was telling me, you know, people in Siliguri is very badly affected. Badly affected, fine. Even India is badly affected. But if we look at, you know, we are projecting India is at number 2. It has overtaken Brazil in terms of number of people infected.
Right.
But if we look at the percentage of the population, that is also one guiding piece of statistics. What is the percentage of Indian population that has been affected? What has been the percentage of the infected people who have you know, died? These are not very you know, very big percentages. These are not very big figures. These are small figures. So there is always that glass half full of water or half empty. So as media is spreading, we cannot stop them from what they are saying. But at the same time, we need to spread the good news also. There are many e-magazines related to hospitality, related to tourism. There we have to spread the good word. The e-magazines, we need to, we as students also, we must ensure that their circulations increase. If I come across an e-magazine on tourism, which is carrying some good news about tourism or a particular place, I must need to forward that magazine to as many people as I know. That responsibility is mine too, as a current or future tourism professional or hospitality professional. So there are many, positive things which we need to highlight and we need to circulate. So we can't really stop the media from what they are doing, but this cannot last long. As the figures improve, media will also have to talk about this improvement. They'll be forced to, because they'll have to sell current affairs.
Right, sir. We have another question from Shurajit Thar. Shurajit is asking, he is in the third semester right now of NSHM, that how tourism and hospitality industry will reform after COVID-19 pandemic, COVID-19 20 anyhow. And he added, what will be the role of government and stakeholders to support this industry?
You see, the first part, there are two parts in the question. The first part, how it will shape up. Again, we are not in prediction business, but we can anticipate. And today we have been discussing that only. Probably my segment, as I said, it will take much longer to come and play its role. But there are other segments which are going to develop at the same time. So, and health and safety issues, these are going to remain for a long, long time to come, which is probably good for us. Because today we have COVID-19, tomorrow there could be COVID-20 and COVID-21 after that. So you never know. Once we are all used to certain protocol, health safety protocol, why do away with those? It is better to continue with those. Maybe not everything, but the the basic things that we do, for example, hand wash or sanitization, disinfection, we can carry on with these practices. These are not practices which are harmful. These will remain good even without the virus. So we can continue to do that. That is the reform part of it. About support, you see, first, why should I think of support, that without support I can't stand up? It is not necessarily that. First, we have to look at how much we can do ourselves. I have been looking at things that government has not allocated any fund. There has been a lot of complaints about this. I asked people, let's talk about a specific amount. Let's talk about a specific amount, and how do you propose the government spends that amount? Let's say 5,000, 5 lakh crores. Let's say 5 lakh crores. Now, what is the size of our industry? If I have some, again, restaurants, we have 5 lakh registered restaurants, 5 lakh plus registered restaurants all over the world. So if it is, 5,000 crore, 5 lakh crores, each one gets how much? So this is known as SOP. So SOPs generally don't work. It's sort of bhik mangna, that sort of a thing. It doesn't work. We have to see how we can get, say, soft loans. Already Mr. Chaudhary has mentioned Mudra Yojana, and I'm sure that there are other schemes also.
He has mentioned some few others also.
There are some other schemes also. Now, if we have to go for entrepreneurship, we need to find out these sources. I cannot, I can't expect, I want to do a business and somebody else will give me the money to do business. That doesn't happen. And then probably we take life a little easy, and then success doesn't come that fluently also. So it is better that we take the responsibility. We take a loan, definitely a soft loan. That much the government can do, and probably they are doing also. And we work hard to make it happen. And it will happen.
Right, sir. Sir, I have another interesting question from Sravanti. He's also one of our students. She's asking that you have mentioned earlier in the beginning of the lecture that different areas like mines and religious tourism, wildlife tourism, all of them are affected by COVID. She's asking which sector you expect to revive faster than the others. That means which sector of tourism is going to be revived as fast, more fast.
Her name is Shravanti, you said. Shravanti, number one, I object to the term lecture.
Oh, sorry, sir.
I never wanted to lecture anybody, and that is one.
It's a training session.
Not even training, madam. It's a discussion session with.
Okay, discussion.
Because you see, because these are all technical terms. Lecture is something which, as a student, I have always hated, and believe me, that is the out of the 52 recognized training methods in the world, the most hated one is lecture. So I also don't like much of lecturing, neither to be lectured, not to lecture. So that is one part. I can only, say what I feel with my experience. So I have already, I already touched on that, like mice is going to suffer, I said, but I also said that, the initial revival we would see in traveling to near distance, nearby locations, that sort of tourism, and in small numbers. So we have to look at that. I also mentioned the Government of India Tourism Department, releasing a video, a very short video clip of, certain destinations in and around, say, Calcutta. I'm sure it is being done for many other locations also. So there, we have to target this sector first. And of course, restaurant dining, which has already started in Europe after the first onslaught. They were the first to face the onslaught. So restaurateurs are also slowly opening up, and people will be going there. That is also very much a part of the tourism sector. And we will see hotels, of course, doing well in the not so distant future. No, I object to one comment of Shravanti again. Another comment.
Okay.
Yeah, she has sort of praised me, but has written "old is gold." Now,
yeah.
now who is this old person? I don't know.
Exactly, sir. That's why I skipped it. I didn't feel anyone.
Now I read it. I don't know who she's referring to, madam. To maybe she's referring to you, but you settle it between you and Shravanti.
Maybe she is mentioning about me.
Maybe.
Actually, exactly. So actually, we can continue, sir, with our discussions if your time permits.
Ma'am, actually, I have another webinar starting at 12:15. So even I would have loved to. Your students have asked so many pertinent questions, so many relevant questions, and I'm so glad. I have no hesitation, no qualms in saying that you have an intelligent bunch of students, and you can do wonders with these students when they go out to the industry. They themselves will create everything. Why think about what will happen? That will happen. What the students are going to make happen.
What they will do.
Yes,
right.
What they will do, that will happen.
That will happen, what they will initiate. Actually, sir, there are lots of questions which is still now in the question answer box and the chat box. And we would request the students that they keep on putting their questions. We'll send it to you. And after that, I am going to help them out with the answers, what has been provided to you. So it's a time to end our session. We extend our sincere thanks to sir. You, from your very busy schedule, you can make some time for us and enlighten us with your huge experience and kind words. We sincerely thanks to also Government of India, because they have made the initiative thinking about the students, because everybody is involved with tourism industry and what will happen to it. But in the meantime, they also keep some time for thinking about the students and making them abreast with the exact conditions of the industry right now and how it is going to bounce back. We are extremely thankful to Mr. Shayak Nandi, Officer, Department of Tourism, for organizing this unique sessions. We also thanks Mr. Shagnik Chaudhary, Director, for without his encouragement, this is not going to happen. We extend our sincere thanks to Dr. Milind, our principal, who is always very encouraging and always appreciate and encourage whatever we do in our department, and all the faculty members, all ITS team, and last not but least, my students who have made out time and participate and meaningfully participate in this nice in this interactive sessions. Thanks to all of you.